And if you know, if it's Tuesday, it's all about the docket. That's right, the latest stories, the headlines, what's making news right here, without fear of contradiction, without fear of favor. Edwin Obuya, Philip Mruto, Fanya Mambo Kinundia in the house. Hata wakishika bloggers or teachers or wakichapa watu, tuko hapa sio? Hello cousins.
Hello Makuzo.
Sisi wote ni cousins.
We are all cousins.
Yes.
Imepata flat footed. Sidhani kama government luminaries wamejua how to rebut that.
Yes.
They're still struggling. Because they had named Wamunyoro as a very tribal man.
Correct.
And now he's going out and looking for his cousins.
Yeah.
but there are those that are still believing he has just taken Ukabila a notch higher by isolating the Nilotes versus the Bantus.
Fanya Mambo. Oh, you were there.
We took that road trip and it was important. And I think Rigiji made it very clear. This is a family affair, which is true. I mean, the Kambas have been the cousins of the Kikuyus. You know, the way the Luyas and the Luos have Washemeji. We had gone to visit our cousins, and then wanaingilia family affair. They start saying that you shouldn't meet your cousins. That's a family meeting. We had a family meeting, and then when we were going down, you know, now when you leave Ukambani, you go into Taita Taveta County. Now the Kamba people have also intermarried a lot with the people of Taita Taveta. So they told us, now that we are our cousins, come we take you to our other cousins. So we met the cousins of our cousins, who are the Taitas, the Tavetas, the people of Voi. Yes. And there was so much love, Jeff. Let me tell you, on that road trip, what you've heard about Rigiji not mobilizing is true. Can you imagine tulitoka hapa? We are not carrying crowds. You know those pikipikis that were following the president all over the place? And that is what is sad for this administration. We did not have the people of Ukambani following us into Voi. Just a few leaders from Ukambani, they went with us and they said, come we introduce you to our other cousins. When we went there, we found the people of Taita Taveta waiting. They were happy. And from there to Maungu, to every other stop that we made, we found happy cousins. It's now the people of Taita Taveta who told us, by the kuna wamijikenda na wapokomo, wako hapa chini. Now pia ni cousins wetu. So by extension, it became a very big meeting of very many cousins who love one another. So it was a wonderful, wonderful meetings of cousins. And then we got to Mombasa. Oh, the whole Mijikenda now tells us, oh, you met the Taita. The Taita are our cousins. And here we are now, the people of Mombasa. So they welcomed us so well. So it was a nice cousins trip. We met with every other cousins along that street. And we are looking forward to increasing our cousins and working together with our cousins. We are happy and every Kenyan is happy. Hi, cousins.
We wish Fanya Mambo the very best.
Yes. On his road trips.
Yes. Najua tukitoa Muhesh kutoka hapa, it will be a good thing. But Jeff, we cannot even the cousins. I think it was the only highlight, the only good thing you can smile about the last week in the country, because what happened on Sunday just made the mood very, very, very bad, and I just wonder how people sitting in high offices have some very fragile egos. That when something small is written about you, you send officers from serious crimes. The officers who went to fetch Albert
Ojwang.
Yes, from serious crimes department. I wonder why or how writing a small page on Facebook or Twitter becomes a serious crime that you can send such officers to go and fetch Albert Ojwang. This is a person who was taken from Kakoth village in Homa Bay and transported all the way to Nairobi. First, that is an illegality from what I hear, because you need a court order to transfer that person from the jurisdiction that you picked him from. And then came the explanation, that he committed suicide and that he was hitting himself on the wall severally, such that he bled to death. There are some explanations that you can't even fathom. You want to imagine how things can happen like that. You were told Ruko killed himself. The same explanation. He shot himself and burned himself, and then this is the same explanation we are getting. And Jeff, the truth is that we might never know the truth, and another truth is that the officers that were involved will not face justice, because we have been here before. We have seen these things before. The IG speaking that the complainant is his deputy Lagat, and the deputy Lagat is in that press, the same press conference. You know, the person who is supposed to be investigating the issue is the same press conference. They are like friends. Isaac Hassan, the chair of IPOA, how then do you expect justice to come out of that place? Do we even know if the crime scene was secured? Do we even know? Because these are the people that have been there. When the family went there that day, they were denied the chance to go and visit the crime scene. You know, and for you to hear Albert's father crying on TV, live on TV. Jeff, we have said this before, we've cheapened the life of human beings so much so that, you know, people take life and life goes on. By now, the deputy IG Lagat, at least you have stepped aside. No, not even resigning. Just appear that you are doing the right thing. Just step aside, allow investigations to happen. Then you come back if we are clean. But in developed democracies, Jeff, hata sio deputy Lagat peke yake, hata IG Kanja angekuwa nyumbani, hata Murkomen sasa angekuwa nyumbani as we speak.
How many Kenyans have gone to police stations to complain about someone defaming them that never got the services Lagat got by deploying a whole special what crime is that again? Serious crime unit to Homa Bay to bundle someone in a Subaru to Nairobi. How many Kenyans have had these complaints that are never acted on? That this special DIG of police can get all these, and then eventually someone is killed in the process of them trying to you know, when a senior officer complains and tells junior officers to go and fetch someone, you know, these junior officers, I'm trying to imagine, there are people who are trying to impress their leaders, their superiors, just in case tomorrow an opportunity avails and they want to be promoted. So they will go and do all the maneuvers they can to try show their bosses that we are dealing with this the way we're supposed to deal with it, because he's the boss. So this young man found himself in a very, very difficult situation, having to deal with police juniors who are trying to impress their master by proving a point and eventually killing this young man. Remember, this is a crime that we expected when Kanja was coming. You know, they had already told us they are interdicting officers. So when he came on the TVs and on radios, we expected that he'll be dropping some names.
Yeah.
The fact that they are being very vague with the details, it shows you how reluctant they are in pursuing justice on this matter. They have given the journalists the assignment of now finding out who was the cell sentry, who was the reporting officer on duty, because he's saying we have interdicted these titles, not giving us the name, and any other that is related to whatever happened. How many more are they? Who are these that went, these officers that went on a who arrived in that home on a motorbike to arrest this young man? Can we first know these people so that we know you have every intention of acting on what you are saying? So for as long as they are keeping these details scanty the way they are doing, it is very unfortunate that we will not see justice happening. This guy Lagat, I had leaders saying in a press conference, the MP saying, they have been called names. Even the president himself has been called a murderer, has been called the most corrupt person, in fact ranked as the most corrupt, among the most corrupt in the world or so. Whatever he does, we do know, but this is Lagat. A small tweet or whatever it is that this boy said, and then it costs his life with no remorse.
Allow me to throw a spanner in the works.
Go on.
You see, Jeff, the father of this young man voted for an MCA. The father of this young man voted for an MP, a senator, a governor. The father even voted for a president. And this young man, we are told, is 31, so we believe he also voted. The fact that his area MCA has said nothing when his voter has been killed like a dog. His area MP, hatujasikia. His governor, his senator, the president they voted for because they queued to vote for a presidential candidate, has said nothing about a person who voted for them having been tortured and killed in this way. Tells you something. My friends, jana walikuwa hapa, I was on a TV show, I wish I was there at Central Police Station, are having a demonstration because of this issue. His own village is quiet. You know, sometimes when you start eating with government, you become foolish. Because why would I want to eat with government that is eating my own people? So I'm calling upon those people. Kama wewe ni MCA, unajua hii familia ilikuchagua. Wewe ni MP, wewe ni senator, wewe ni governor, or you were the presidential candidate that this family voted for. Shame on you. Because by now, you should have been up in arms, making the loudest noise. Because why are other people from every other place fighting for your own son, and you people are not fighting for one of your own? Why are you not speaking about one of your own when this is happening to them? Number two, nobody wants to talk about the perpetrators of this heinous crime. Everybody is talking about the people who received this young man in a cell. Nobody has mentioned the name of this year. Sasa all wamesahau. Kanja amesahau. They can't remember who carried him in a Subaru
for 3.5 4 hours.
For 3.5 4 hours. Na unajua ile Subaru inanga brakes. I think wanatoanga hiyo kitu inaitwa brakes, wakifika Nairobi wanarudisha. That vehicle that took him from that place to this place, that vehicle is a crime scene. If you understand how crime happens, that vehicle is a crime scene. It should not be on our roads. Hata inafaa kuwa imebukiwa hapo na imewekwa as part of the evidence of a place where a crime happened. The policemen or the DCI officers, whoever they are, first we want to know their names, we want to see their faces, and we want to know who are these who carried him from that place to Central Police Station. But also more importantly, we want to know at the time he was being booked in the cell, had he been injured or was he okay? Then we can be able to narrow down on where the crime happens. But what we have done, because the state is so keen on keeping the people they used to abduct people and punish people and do bad things on people, they are protecting the people who brought him to Central Police Station. The first crime was not committed by Central Police Station if it was committed in the first place. The first crime was committed when you remove a person from an area of jurisdiction where a crime has happened to very many kilometers away from where that should have happened, because we have courts there. I mean, the easiest thing would have been to take him to the nearest court there the following morning.
In LD.
In LD. Why move him all the way? So from where I sit, this thing is not resolved until we are able to get the names of the DCI officers who arrested him and they are interdicted.
But that's very that's not going to happen. Right?
It is not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's a saying that goes that for those that the gods wants to destroy, they first make them mad.
Right. Yes.
And I think this government is on a destruction. Is self-destructing is actually, because this was so unnecessary. So unnecessary. You know, there's a lot of pressure. The government is feeling a lot of pressure from lots of other quarters. Mambo ya budget, mambo ya finance bill, mambo ya nini, and then this just comes out so unnecessary. The pressure now, wanasemanga crisis. It has increased tenfold.
Yes.
Because, you know, this is a crime that should never have happened. But, you know, it just goes down to confirm what we've been suspecting all along, that DCI officers have been used over and over to abduct and sometimes even kill those that are critical of the government. And this I don't think it was I think it was accidental that they hammered that young man so much so that something happened and then he died, because what they do is that they just hammer you, and then when they release you, now unaenda kama umenyenyekea, you can never speak anything against the government again. But you know, you cannot running a government from one blunder to another. You deal with this, you finish dealing with this, another one comes, you finish dealing with this blunder, another one blunder happens. And you know, they say that the fish rolls from the head. So where does the buck stop? The buck stops with the President William Ruto. He has been on record saying he will not tolerate such incidences. He has been on record saying that in my government such a things will not happen. There will be no abductions, there will be no police killings. But it is happening over and over and over and over and over. And you can't blame Kenyans when they don't trust their president, because each and every promise he makes, it is broken.
And then everything that Wamunyoro does, people say, you know what? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? This is the alternative.
He's speaking the language that most Kenyans seem to identify with,
Correct.
to appreciate.
Yeah.
Actually, he is one of the leaders who came out and spoke on the matter. I think he was before some crowd and spoke about the very issue. It is very beautiful to say you have interdicted. There's a journalist who wanted to know, so what happens to these officers that have been interdicted? I expected an explanation from Kanja, like, you know, now maybe they don't have pay, they will not be in office. I expected such an explanation, but he kept saying, you know, now they pave way for investigation, and that is it. In most cases in this country, what happens with interdictions, especially of this magnitude, is that they will tell you now take a low profile. That is the I am very sure that is the kind of interdiction they are talking about, and that is why it is so hard for them, so difficult for them to even put names out, because if they put names out, we will see that officer reporting to Central Police Station at the Kiambu headquarters, the DCI headquarters. That is why they cannot put the names forward, because the interdiction is not interdiction. Their interdiction is, please take a low profile until this cools off.
Yes.
You know, and that is what annoys Kenyans, and that is why that question was asked, because we know that is what is happening. How insulting can it be that at the height of such a matter, you are just the much you can afford is tell someone to take a low profile, because we know that is what is happening. If that is not what is happening, then can we see those names? Can we see those? Can we put faces to these
names.
to the names? Then we will know it is the interdiction as prescribed by the regulations and whatever they quoted. Then we will know.
But for the number, you know, in Kenya,
There's something beautiful that has happened. One of the persons who was at Bomas of Kenya to happily usher this administration is Jackson Ole Sapit. And he has come out with a strong worded statement saying there is no mercy. He's saying this government is redeemable. He has said that the church has left it. The church will never support this administration again. He has apologized for what he did as the head of the Anglican Church. Unajua, and that's why I'm seeing human beings who are saying Kumi Bila breaks. In fact, I don't pity the 75% of us who think the country is headed in the wrong direction. The pity I have is for those 14% who think there is hope in this administration. Those people need a serious psychiatric assistance, because even the church itself that supported William Ruto is not with William Ruto. Wameachana na yeye kabisa. Now the only persons who have been left behind to support William Ruto ni kuna watu fulani wanaitwa musicians. Nimeona wamepelekwa State House, wanaongozwa na tumbo zao. I want to tell them for free. William Ruto is reading a script from Mobutu Sese Seko. You know, Mobutu Sese Seko used to force people to sing for him. Right. And in fact, there's a very nice song that was sung. Mobutu Sese Mobutu. People know that song. The history of that song, you need to go and check it out. Yeah. He actually forced that song to be sung for him. Franco was forced to sing that song for him against his wish, and he sang a very nice song. I think the only legacy that William Ruto is going to leave is the song that these musicians are going to sing. Umesikia wengine wanasema kidi kinewito totige more kiabara. These guys, those are the only things that will be left long after Kindiki is gone.
Na hana bass. Mimi ni normal, si normal.
Yeah, people only remember that song.
Mimi ni fire.
If that's the only thing they're going to remember them from, it's a very sad place. I think let us just know that this administration is on its last legs, and anybody joining them is joining a moribund institution.
Gentlemen, there's 3 weeks left, or maybe less than 3 weeks, to the anniversary.
Yes,
of
yes.
June 25th. It's just literally around the corner. And see the things that are happening right now.
And that's why I said, Jeff, that what happened on Sunday to happen when we know that Gen Z anniversary is coming up. You know, you are raising unnecessary emotions for nothing.
Because jana kuna mtu ameabductiwa na Probox. That video is going viral. Jana.
You know, you're just raising unnecessary emotion because, you know, Gen Z suffered when last year during that finance bill demonstrations. People suffered, people were abducted, people were killed. We are still hearing the case of Rex Masai. Yesterday, the police commanding officer was saying, I didn't deploy. There was some secret deployment that happened. Maybe those are the people who could have killed Rex Masai. You know, people are still going through those emotions. You know, the problem with our politicians, Jeff, is that they move on so fast. And they think that the masters have already moved on the way they have moved on, because, you know, you move on, you broad-based, blood-based, and then you get a deal here and there, and then you think that now life is normal. People are going on, but there are people. Say Baba Ojuang, Baba Albert, you cannot tell me that I may move on.
Wapi.
When he is crying, and the only child, person who struggled with through school, kwa Mtimbo sijui alikuwa anachimba kule Mombasa, amesomesha mtoto wake until where he is now a teacher, and then all of a sudden one tweet and then you will say the son is dead. That person cannot move on. Mama Rex Masai has not moved on. There are people who are abducted who have never been seen since then. Those people, their families have not moved on. And so once you again raise emotions the way the government is trying to raise emotions like they are doing right now, it is going to backfire on them, because, you know, Kenyans are angry and they just need some very little spur that is going to again take us back to where we are.
And Muruju, that spark could come in any way, huh?
They have a habit of getting themselves into problems and then realizing afterwards and struggling to make statements. I saw a lot of the Kenya Kwanza leaders purporting to condemn this murder, you know. But I could see, given an opportunity, those guys would have gone back to the same narrative of trying to tell the young people in Kenya teaching them on how to use social media.
Right.
Given an opportunity, that is what they would have said. But I think with the fears of the carelessness that whoever ordered this has cost them, and the fact that we are just about to get into the anniversary of the Gen Z's protest, someone is, as in they're haunted by the memories of whatever happened. You cannot be comfortable sitting, eating, and then someone comes with something that is likely to threaten the existence of the food on your table, you know. And that is what they are feeling. That is why they purported to condemn what happened. I do not see the sincerity. I did not feel the sincerity in their condemnations. I would rather they demanded with a straight face that Lagat steps aside, Amin steps aside. You know, things that Kenyans can say, yes, now we want to see it actionable. But these emotional statements that are meant to do Kenyans to imagine we are on the same page, I don't think Kenyans are buying that.
But Jeff, you know, in Tanzania or Uganda, maybe yesterday people will not be in the streets because they'll be fearing that Pia Mini Kienda, I'll be picked up. But Kenyans, we are tired. Kenyans are tired. People will be on the streets today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, because people, we are past that being sold fear. At work, such a thing is going to happen. People are beyond that right now. And people are saying, kwani maisha yangu, is my life special than that of Albert, who was killed in cold blood? So if Albert can die, then you can be next. Who knows? Maybe they are listening. They could Subaru can be waiting for me down there outside. They don't want to hear anything negative about the government.
Correct.
And so there's that possibility. And so that's why people must raise up. People must stand up and say no, because if you keep quiet today, when Albert has gone through what he has gone through, tomorrow it will be me.
This is Moi all over again. Fanya mambo.
This is Moi on steroids.
Boss.
Take Moi, you put steroids, you get what we have right now. I support what my colleague here is saying, that the first thing we need to do is to shout about this everywhere. Kenyans are saying hii noise haisaidii. Hakuna mwizi anapenda kelele. Mwizi hawezi iba kwa sababu unapiga kelele. We have to keep, and if we get their names we share, if we get their photos we share. If we should make it so uncomfortable for somebody to be a killer DCI. Make it the most uncomfortable thing. Let those people be known, so that once we do that, then and when we abduct and we see a car, we share the number plate, we share the photos, we say the direction of the car. You know that feeling of they're in the car, there are just 3 of them with guns, and there is 2-3 million Kenyans who are concerned, will make them feel that they shouldn't be doing this. And don't allow this to go. I must tell Kenyans, aki tuongee tu. If that's the only thing you can do, talk about it, raise awareness, condemn it. And then when you go to church, you see a pastor na tumbo yake kubwa ana support the administration, you condemn that pastor. When you see a musician singing to atikumi bila breaks, you condemn that musician. Because what this musician is telling you that Ruto needs another 5 years for young people to continue dying like this. That's a very insensitive person. So to every person alijipata amepeleka tumbo yake State House, aki shame on you. Because what you are doing technically, what goes on in your mind, sasa unashika gitaa, unapiga song inasema ati mtu kama huyu aende another 5 years. Those are very insensitive Kenyans. And then I want us to put on notice every blogger. Yani kuna watu wako sahi atijua napewa 500. Ako hapa anaambia Wakenya 10 bila breaks. They are all over social media. Let us all unite and report those accounts of those bloggers. We report them until Facebook bans them. Because you cannot have people, an administration has just killed a young person. Na ametafuta crime yake mpaka sahi wanasema hawajui. And then you are a young person, you are a blogger for this administration. This is a call to every Kenyan. Mahali yuko, we identify those people who are blogging and saying kumi bila breaks. And we report all those accounts for now, so that they are closed. Because how can you be perpetuating and propagating for the furtherance of an administration that is doing such atrocities to people? Once we stop those ones, then now we can move forward. We want to have a conversation as a nation, but inakuwa ngumu because sasa unaenda kusema Albert ameuliwa, there's another foolish person saying that he abducted himself, that there are policemen who are singing one term, so it is possible that even those policemen could have been working with the opposition to kill this young person. Those are the kind of people we don't need. Na kama hawa watu watapata kura, aki kuna voters tunafaa tu tuambie kwa roho safi tu, just ban your vote. The people, because we cannot take away your vote from you, but do us a favor. If the common sense is helping you and telling you that you need to vote back this administration, just ban your vote and your ID for the time being.
You know, talking of somebody who, you know, Samido, wametoa arrest warrant against him because they are saying he has deserted duty. That's I'm telling you, Jeff, whoever, when the gods first destroy you,
they first make you mad.
They will make you mad. And this government is literally, everybody seems to be mad, you know, making decisions that you look at it and say, wait a minute.
But what's going on?
What is going on?
In a group of 10, we will have maybe 2 or 3 who are rotten, and we may get a few of them who are good, you know. We have an institution that is now at the mercies of these kinds of individuals, characters, who are tainting any good image that would have been left of those good police officers. Now imagine, you know, I was watching a clip on news yesterday. At the I think it was around city mortuary, where there were these protesters who were raising arms against this brutality, and there was a plainclothes officer who was nearly dealt with. Had he not jumped on a motorbike that was standing by. He even left his cape. He even left his cape. You know, this is the risk these kinds of character are putting the whole institution under. We have good officers who would rather do, and we know that they are there, who are saying one term as well. We have officers who are saying one term. I don't know if Samido is one of them, but we have officers who are saying one term.
Yeah,
as in not for anything, but because they are Kenyans who are feeling the heavy burden just like any other Kenyan. And then you have these ones here. Now you make Kenyans go after every other person called an officer of the law. You know, anyone in uniform, anyone in a Subaru, anyone that looks like he's working like he's a plainclothes officer, you know, you now risk. If you own a Subaru, be careful. You get out here with a Subaru, people may think you're one of them, and they will descend on you.
Correct.
We are advising Kinobias to spare the Subaru.
We have been told that we Subaru boys will not.
That is where we're headed. We are making everyone who looks like a police, even those good cops that are out there, to be in danger.
Even as we speak about that, you know, just before they did these things to Albert, kuna upuzi fulani walikuwa wanafanya the other day, walikuwa wanaita empowerment, and they have insisted on going on with that empowerment. And what they are doing now, they've graduated from the beans. You know, Engineer Mkarabati raised the standards because in his constituency we saw what was being paraded. And so Fika felt ashamed and they had to up their game, and they were doing the same. But I keep telling these people, some of these constituencies have 200,000 voters. So when you come and give thanks to 100 people, it shows nyinyi hamuna common sense. Dam money is stolen. That dam would have provided water to all households equally. You just need to lay a pipe. But there's a fool who thinks that what they need to do now is to give you a tank to store water. If we were to give tanks to every voter in every constituency, that would be in the trillions of shillings. But if we need to give water to every household, it will be cheaper, it will be more sustainable, and government can actually make money out of it because they meter the water, and on a monthly basis the government will make money. This is what happens when you don't elect common sense into leadership. You know, when you elect someone who is, for the lack of a better word, foolish, the only thing they can conceptualize is giving you a boda or a Porsche mill or a sewing machine or a tank. But when you elect someone who has a brain, now they give you something called a blueprint. When Professor Anyang' Nyong'o was Minister for Planning, they came up with the poverty reduction strategy paper. They came up with things that don't get, you know, like when you have a poverty reduction strategy paper, when you have a vision 2030, those are things that don't rot. They are things that can be implemented and that will move the nation from where it is to where it's supposed to be. But then we did not elect common sense into positions of power. So these people, the only thing their brain can fathom, akikaa saa zile amefikiria mita imefika 100 out of 100, the only thing they can think about is bringing you a sewing machine. We should be thoroughly worried, because what these people are doing, have you ever seen a guy on a drip? They are drip feeding poverty. Unampatia maji na drip hivi. It's management of poverty, which is a bad thing. Finally, Jeff, kuna kitu, unajua kuna syndrome watu wajui. Wacheni niwafunze kitu. Kuna syndrome inaitwa Nyinawama Atini. There's a syndrome called Nyinawama Atini syndrome. In every ward, in every constituency, kuna mtu anaitwa Nyinawama Atini, who thinks that the problems of that place can be resolved by waheshimiwa. You wake up one morning, sometimes I find myself in 11 groups. People who uliamka asubuhi hizo zote ni za mashida. And then Nyinawama Atini is this person who whips emotions and calls you all the time, telling you haujasaidia huyu, haujatuma 3,000 hapa, haujatuma 5,000 hapa, kazi ya mheshimiwa ni kutuma pesa. Now that syndrome has to come to an end, because when you come here and speak about SHA, the Nyinawama Atini will not understand. They think you're making noise. What they think is that Jeff, juu ni mheshimiwa wa hapa, anafaa kutoa 5,000 kwa hii family, 10,000, 20,000. But they don't think that the reservoirs that Jeff have would come to an end. So what we are trying to tell them is, look here, if you fix SHA, then all those fundraisings in this village, za hospitali, zitaisha. When you tell them, if you fix the education funding model, mutoe huu mheshimiwa wenyu mjinga mwenye anaenda kupitisha a bad education funding model, na mulete mpya na mupitisha an education funding model that works, then hizi harambe za high school zitaisha.
That's easier said than done. Nani atasikiza?
They won't listen.
No.
But that's why we are saying, from where we sit right now, voters card, by the way, you've seen what Gen Zs have put online. You need two things: your voters card, and number two, common sense. If you realize you don't have number two, throw away number one. And we have to do that throughout. If you realize hauna common sense, throw away the voters card. It's not going to help you. It's going to ruin the nation. Yes. Gen Zs wamesema hataki mchezo. Watakuwa kwa queue na wana vet. Wakiona una common sense wanakwambia wewe ufai kuvote. Utaturudisha kwa shida.
Jeff, the sad thing is that the fundraisers are not going to help that much in alleviating the poverty levels or alleviating the well-being of the society. Because, you know, and you wonder, Jeff, watu wanaombanga Mungu gani? Why? How is somebody giving out 4 million on Friday, 5 million on Saturday, 3 million on Sunday,
same weekend,
and nowadays paka jana Monday sasa wame increase
salary yake ni 1 million
because of the Wamunyoro effect. They have increased the frequency of those harambees.
Yes.
and Kapsaret, what they did there, they changed I think 145 million because the merchandise we are told was 45 million and then hapo tu akachanga sijui 100 million hapo and you wonder hawa watu kwani mimi Mungu wangu na venye walio tuko na Mungu wengi why kila county iko na Mungu, kila county iko na representative ya Mungu and you wonder why your prayers are never listened because you know 3 million hata Papa wa Roma mwenye amekuanga mgumu kutoa sahi anatoa 500,000
hiyo ni mingi ya kwake.
Sasa 500,000.
Yes.
Yesterday he gave out 500,000. Sunday he gave out 500,000. One day he gave out $1 million. Those are 2 million for Papa wa Roma.
Wow.
On a weekend. And you wonder how watu wanatoa wapi pesa?
That is 1 year salary.
Wanatoa wapi pesa? Because over and over Friday, Saturday, and
Sunday.
Now unasikia hizo confidential votes zenye Gen Z walikuwa nalia. This is the money they are using. Na utasikia kidogo what Kotu and Atola have been crying about, that they are, you know, diversifying money ya housing levy yenye amenikata pesa yangu. That's the money they are going to use to go and do those harambees. And because there is no way you will tell me that person, however generous he is going to give 10 million each and every weekend for 4 weekends. You know, 4 weekends, that's a month, that's 40 million
a month.
How?
Walifuliza.
How?
I mean naona ni kama they meet in a certain tent before those events wanapigwa kila mtu, serikali inatoa mahali inatoanga. Sasa wewe when you stand kama wewe Papa wa Roma, wewe peana 500. Some of those guys cannot sustain that.
But I'm told MCs on the ground they are, you know, given 100,000. Unajua wewe unawaambia wewe hatuja kuambia utoe 100, wewe toa ile unataka, but 100 ndio you are just here ili yako si huko hapa ndio 100. Sasa wewe
tuko kwa Harambee hii ni
lakini sio 30,000 huko
70 kwa mfuko
70 huko na ya fuel.
Yes.
So you and these are some of the things that Gen Zs were standing against when they started the revolt last year.
Correct.
And the president said in his own words that he has banned harambees. And then churches and everything he has banned harambees, public servants.
Angalia.
Now sasa angalia.